Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be doing something I wanted to show you. Sorry, we've got Home Alone playing in the other room and my grandson is here with my husband talking, so it's loud. Hope you can hear me. I'm going to make Sunday sauce in that pot. Before we even begin, I'm going to drop some Italian sausage. I've got some good Italian sausage right here. I'm going to put those in that. There's a little 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to brown them up while we make, we're going to make bracciole. Just a quick version. I don't have prosciutto, which sometimes I put that in, but this is just a quick version. I thought I would show you what I do with that, and I'll just do it step by step as quickly as I can. I pounded out 6 pieces of round steak so that they were paper thin, and I'm going to make a mixture to put into each bracciole. I probably should get some stuff out of the way. In this bowl I have 1/3 of a cup of breadcrumbs. I'm going to put in 1 tablespoon, or 1 teaspoon I should say, of minced garlic. The rest of the garlic is for the sauce. I'm also going to put in 1/4 cup of freshly grated Parmesan cheese, and I'm going to squeeze in the juice of a lemon. Yes, this is different. I do like lemon with beef, and I have done this before, especially like if I'm making any kind of stuffed mushrooms or stuffed, oh boy, this lemon's gonna give me issues. I just like lemon with my beef, and since I didn't have prosciutto, I thought, what can I do that would give a lot of flavor without a lot of calories? So I'm going with lemon. And I'm also going to put in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil to make a wet breadcrumb mixture. Lastly, I brought it out. I did. Usually it's fresh parsley. It's December here. There is no fresh parsley. So I'm putting in about 1 tablespoon of dry parsley. So you want it kind of a clumpy mixture. This garlic that's here is going to go in my sauce. I'm just going to show you how I do one, and then I'm going to brown it up with my sausages. And after, we're going to make meatballs, drop them in too. So I'm going to say 1 teaspoon because I have to make 6 of these. So you're going to put it right in the center. We're going to make 6. They're not big. There's not even that many people. There's my son and I that eat this today. It's really snowing here. So we're going to wrap it up and tie it up on each end. And I'm going to just do one for camera and then pause you, and I'll keep going. So we tie it up so that it doesn't come out at the ends. And it's okay if a little comes out because I'm going to throw it all in the sauce. Right now you can hear the peppers or the sausages are browning. It's going to have a rope at each end that will just literally fall off. And I salt and peppered the beef before I pounded them, so I should have told you that. Just put a little black pepper, not too much salt, because the salt in the Parmesan cheese will take over. So this is 1 bracciole, and I'm going to do 5 more, and then brown it. This is a cooking twine that I'm using. I'm going to roll that extra right in there, and we'll be back. Hello again. So I'm on to the last bracciole, and I've got browning in there, 5 of them. This will be 6. I tie them up with 2 knots, 1 on each end, so it keeps the stuffing right into the bracciole. And I'm going to brown them in the pot and try to bring you over there for a moment. You can see that they're going to saute with those. Whoa. They saute with the sausage, and I'm going to salt and pepper the outside of all of this. At this point, you want a sear on the outside of those braccioles. And the reason is it seals in the juices. There's a little bit of breadcrumbs left. I'm not going to throw those away because they can go in my meatball mixture, which is not ready yet. So I'm going to turn the ones that I put in that are already browning in my sausage. All of this will come out because I'm going to, you'll see. You'll see. They're browning up delicious. Have you ever made bracciole? I'll show you again. All browned. So they're getting browned. Oh, I'm sorry that I have to move you so much. They're about to come out, completely out, and then I'll show you how I start my sauce. I'm going to take the plate, remove all the sausages first. They're browning up nicely. All the braciole are browning up nicely. This is how I start my sauce. Okay, now let me try to move you again. Usually I put you over on the other side of the stove. Sorry guys, this is a real process. So that looks like nothing, because it is nothing. We are going to put in olive oil, a lot of onion, all but a quarter cup, because a quarter cup I saved for my meatballs. At this point, you're not putting any garlic in yet, but you are putting in some crushed red pepper flakes. This is optional. This is also very much controversial. A little sugar. It helps caramelize. Then some pepper. Put the pepper in here. Oh no, I'm not. I'm going to leave it over here for my meatballs. And some salt. Give those onions a stir. And that brown on the bottom is all from these browning the meats. They're all going to go back in once those onions are translucent. Now I have this on low. And to speed up the process, I am going to put the lid on it. You'll notice I do that a lot. I put the lid on it. Hello everyone. I put the lid on it because I want to leave the steam in here to have it cook those onions. So, components of my sauce today is no salt added tomato sauce, crushed tomatoes, and a can of tomato paste. This is how I would start if I wasn't using a jar of sauce, which I'm not. It's going to have onions, and in a few minutes I'll put garlic in before I add these tomato products. I'm going to get some water. We are having a whole lot of snow today outside, so I thought today I'll do a pot of sauce with some spaghetti, some garlic bread, and some salad when my son picks up his son later after everybody's plowed out. My son's driving today to work in Albany, which is an hour from here, so he brought me his little guy this morning. It is what it is. I mean, we do what we can for our grandkids, that's for sure. And right now they're watching Home Alone, so I'm hoping I can get through this part. You can see I'm breaking up some of that brown on the bottom, which is all flavor. Couple more seconds with the onions, and then I'm going to throw the garlic in. So I have 3 cloves of chopped garlic. There's some breadcrumbs here from when I did the bracciole. It's going in. So the breadcrumbs, it's not going to hurt it. It is not going to hurt anything. So now you just give this a couple minutes stir. You don't want to burn the garlic, so pay attention at this point. My lid. You want to pay attention big time because garlic burns fast. So you can see that they caramelized pretty good. This is a great Le Creuset. You know I've talked about my pots collection. Cast iron skillet. What I'm going to do next is add the tomato products and then turn this up to high, and then we're going to make meatballs together, which you've seen me do before, but I'm going to do them again today. So before I put any of the tomato or the water, I try to fry up the tomato paste, and the reason is that you want that raw tomato paste flavor to cook. I don't know, I've done this for years. I don't follow recipes normally. I use whatever tomato products I have. If I only had 2 cans of crushed tomatoes and tomato paste, I would use that. I've made sauce with everything, so with whatever tomato products I have left, diced tomatoes, whole tomatoes, San Marzano tomatoes, yeah, there's all different that are better. This is what I had in my house today. So this is what's getting used today. So now I'm gonna up the heat some because I want that to come to a boil while I make our meatballs, and we'll go through that too. So this will cook low and slow once I get it going. So we got onions, crushed red pepper, olive oil, fresh garlic, a little bit of sugar, salt and pepper, frying up the tomato paste right now. Trying to get it to get cooked out a little bit. Into that, we're going to add the can of 28 ounces. I took a little out, and you'll see why, of crushed tomatoes. And I'm going to add about a half a can of water to be sure I get out all the tomatoes that were in there. That's going in. Now we stir it up. We're going to start raising the temperature because I want that to come to a boil, like I said, when I'm making the meatballs for you. Now I put in the 28-ounce can of tomato sauce with no salt. I'm not going to season this again until the very end, after the meats and everything have cooked. Put some water, about a half a can. Rinse it out. I hope you can see everything I'm doing. And put it in. So that is the base of a very plain, ordinary tomato sauce. If you didn't want any meat, you could do the whole process without browning meat, just starting with the onions, garlic, crushed red pepper, and a little sugar. Now I put a lid on it because, like I said, I want it to boil. I'm moving you again. We're coming back over to meatball land. And this, my friends, is work in progress. So, over there we still have bracciole. Oh my goodness, you're right close to me. I think you can see. Okay. The meatballs. I gotta get ready. Grass-fed, 85% meat. You've seen me make these last time, but I'll show you again. There's no science to this. It's really simple. Drop the meat in. At this point, I'm still trying not to touch anything. I need my big knife. Big knife. This is my 1/4 cup of onion. It was a 1/4 cup of onion last time. I'm using this because I had it from the bracciole. So we're going to assume that's a tablespoon of breadcrumbs. So we're not going to really count that as much. You know I like to season my naked meat. So salt. I see something, pepper in there. And pepper. A little more pepper. Here's where I get interesting. This is a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese and a 1/4 cup of the crushed tomatoes. Now, the last time I made this, you saw me use marinara sauce. That's what I had because that's the kind of sauce I was using. So what I'm getting at is I use whatever and an egg. I use whatever sauce I'm using. A 1/4 cup of my sauce goes into my meatball mixture along with my Parmesan cheese, and that's what gives, and the onions, and that's what gives my meatballs so much moisture. Then the trick is low and slow all day, but that sauce has to come to a boil. I don't bake, I don't fry them, I don't brown them. I drop them into a simmering sauce and let them cook in the simmering sauce. Low and slow, and they come out moist and perfect. So right now I'm just mixing them without using my hands because I still have work to do until that sauce comes to a boil, and I'm going to touch my phone and bring you back over there to finish this. So when the sauce comes to a boil, I make 12 equal-sized meatballs from this, and I drop them into the boiling, rapidly boiling sauce. I'll pause you again. So nobody told me, because you were not able to, I never put my breadcrumbs in until after I paused that video. I realized that I only sprinkled that little bit from the bracciole in, so in went the 1/3 cup of breadcrumbs that are in my original recipe. So you've watched this recipe before, it's on YouTube. All my recipes are on YouTube in order of when I made them. People have written that they're looking for this or looking for that, and the best way to find them is definitely to go to YouTube, because on Facebook they put them in reels, but they make it very hard to see the title. we're on YouTube, you can see the title of what I make. So if you're looking for meatloaf, it'll say meatloaf. Turkey meatloaf says turkey meatloaf. Meatballs, so on and so forth. This is simmering. We're ready. I am going to try to do this on camera. So I'm not going to make them huge. I just take a meatball and I drop it right in my sauce. The rest will go in as well. So, they're singing. I love it. I just love it. I mean, Christmas is it, man. He's 4, so he's an excited little guy. We got our house completely decorated for him. And now you're going to watch me roll meatballs and drop them in simmering sauce. Pretty good day for it. We're supposed to get about 11 inches of snow today. If there's a such thing as a good day for that, I don't know. I plan to go out with him after, both of them. I can't do the snow blowing. I still can't do 10 pounds. So this might seem weird to you. You probably browned them. I did too. I browned them. I put them in the oven. I've tried everything. I throw these in a crock pot in the sauce when it's simmering. And I used to leave for work and come home and people were like, these are the best meatballs I ever had. This is all I do to them. I make a ball. And the reason I'm throwing them back and forth is it kind of gives the center a place to smack together so it doesn't come apart. They do not come apart. All of this meat will go into this 5.5 quart Dutch oven. I'll move it to the back burner because that's my smallest burner. And I'll let it go a good 3 hours. The braciole, the meat you cut with a fork, those strings come right off. Inside is the breadcrumb, garlic, lemon. Like I said, you could put a lot of things. People put raisins, people put pine nuts, people put prosciutto. I made them plain today because I'm more plain these days. So there's a lot of protein here. I could have a sausage, I could have meatball, I could have braciole, I could have everything I want. I don't restrict anything anymore, but I make sure the first thing that goes down into my stomach is my protein. That's important. I have to have protein or I will get malnourished. I had a surgery that moved my digestive system, so I need to have my nutrients be very dense. There's 1 meatball left in here. And I have a clean bowl. Another thing you're going to ask is, what about the grease? So I find the leaner the beef, the better the beef, the least the grease. So I do not drain my grass-fed 85%. The flavor goes into the sauce and the fat goes into my mouth, I guess. So that's where we're at. That is meatballs. And now you're going to watch me put bracioles in. Tuck them in wherever you can find spots. Sausages are going to go last because I want this, make sure the braciole is submerged by the sauce because that's what's going to cook it. And then we're going to put all these Italian sausages in. I do brown my sausage. I don't know why. They probably could be fine dropped right in too, but I've always browned them. It's do what you do. Do what recipe you like. So I'm going to try to get all that juice. And then you have just made the base of a Sunday sauce. Do not stir that. If you stir it at this point, you will break your meatballs. So the trick is not to touch it. Don't touch it for a while. I'm going to move it to the back burner, move my tea kettle, put the top on, and she's going to go to the back burner on low and slow. And that's about all I can show you on how to start a sauce. And I will post finish later, like I do a bubbling something later. But that is huge. That will be several meals. Braciole, sausage and peppers. Braciole, Italian sausage, and my homemade meatballs, all simmering away in a homemade sauce. Does this help you at all? I hope so. I love you guys. Thank you.